Hiya, so my name is Finn Mellors and I'm here today to pitch you the idea for my business called UV Climbing. So here's the proposal. So how I see it, you're going to want to see two things. You want to see the problem or the opportunity for the business, and then you're going to want to see the solution, what my business is offering. So at the moment, I've identified three factors that are all coinciding together that are creating the opportunity. That's a demand for multifunctional clothing, an increasing participation of climbing, like rock climbing, and then more consumers caring about their wellness and wanting to participate in outdoor sports. These coincided together are what build the foundation of my business plan. So the solution to this, my business plan, is to create multifunctional performance sportswear clothing for climbers and for anyone interested in fashion that fits in just as well as it does in the climbing wall or in climbing outdoors as it does in the cool streets, Soho, London, Northern Quarter, Manchester, anywhere, trendy, that kind of on-trend look and aesthetic to it. And then also it's all going to be produced in the UK with high quality materials shipped in from mainly Japan, some in Europe. So that made in the UK tag is also going to add value. So the research being conducted around the business environment and the market, you can see from the things on the screen that the market's growing. It's been growing consistently for the past 5 years. It all started around, when it's peaked around the COVID pandemic, which is when people moved outside, they got new hobbies, they picked up new hobbies, and they ran with them, and then because of the free time they've had more time to do them and stick with it. There's also the specialized clothing is the second largest gear type within the industry, showing massive monetary potential. Mintel 2022 tells us that fashion is now driving sportswear. They're not two separate things anymore, they're intertwined and people want both. That is partly where the multifunctional then ties into it all as well. And then top rope climbing is predicted to be the next trend within climbing, so we want to gear ourselves towards that so that we're not going to miss anything, miss any revenues or anything from that. And with our design, it's all about user experience, so we want to make sure the specific details on the clothing and the garments and everything are geared toward the activity that are going to be taking place to make the whole experience easier for the user. So for top rope climbing, it might be pockets that fit with your harness, so they're not intruded by both. And then the competitive analysis, as you can see there on the screen, we've got a positioning map of all the competitors, and this is one of the main things that we believe that there's no other competitors out there that currently put a high climbing focus and a high fashion focus into their products, and that's why we're positioned in that top right hand corner, nowhere near any of the competition, and that's what sets us apart. So for the strategy, the business strategy is mainly to get to use a minimum viable product from the lean startup. Want to get to market, want to be adaptable, and want to respond to consumer demand in the market and the changes in the market. We don't want to become stagnant, set on our focus while we believe we've got a star product and while we believe that's going to be a very successful product. You need to be adaptable, and we need to be able to go out there, test the market. So that's why with these first designs, these first iterations, while we still focus on user experience, it won't be as in detail as maybe what it would be in the future. But yeah, that's to get to the minimum viable product to market, so we can get there, get data and adapt. And then the marketing strategy is going to be very consumer centric. Again, going off the whole, we want the feedback from the consumer, so then we can adapt to make sure that we're supplying them with the right product, and then that should carry over into their meaning that there's always demand for the product we're putting out, because it's not coming from us, it's coming from the consumer and the consumers we trust. And then the rest of the strategy is following the modernized 4Ps. So there's purpose, positioning, partnerships, and personalization. So the target market's a big one. It's a niche market. It's the climbers that care about their fashion, the fashionable climbers. So in the report, there's two figures. Those overlaid help us decide where on the trend curve our consumers will be. And so it allows us to influence the design process by knowing our consumer and knowing where they'll be on this design, on the trend curve, and knowing that they'll be the early adopters and so on of the trends. So we want to catch the trends early on instead of kind of letting them play out. So it's worth taking that risk because that's the kind of cute consumer we want to attract. Also, there's lots of different factors and demographics that make up our target market, which can all be found in the report. But the age range is around 18 to 35, young adults, young male adults currently, with a range of, education, but it's the hobbies and interests that we mainly focus on. It's the interest in climbing and the interest in fashion and the crossover there. So the marketing personas, there's a lot on them in the report, and the social media will be the main channel to get to reach this target market, because that's what is the most relevant, and where they spend a lot of time and where we can really reach them. And with the ads that we can put out, it's good that they look organic, they kind of come up in an organic way. So it almost comes in as a follow, it's someone they follow already. So the main marketing actions we're going to take is we're going to offer equity to 3 athletes, who are Jim Pope, Eugene Lee and Kieran Frost. This is in return for them marketing the products, being a part of the business, bringing in their contacts, and this is going to bring a lot of positives for the business, including brand awareness. They've got over 40,000 followers combined on Instagram. Loyalty, lots of people follow these people and really kind of want to support them, with brand awareness being the main one. These influencers, they're basically influencers within the climbing community. They have a lot of sway and they have a lot of presence about them that we believe adds a lot of value could add a lot of value to the brand. And having these professional climbers back the brand will, it creates this image in everyone's head where it's a valid brand. It's been around for ages. It's supported by climbers, not just a climber that no one's heard of, but climbers that are world famous, that have competed in World Cups, in the Olympics, all over the place. So it really going to help the brand's image and the brand positioning. So now for my favourite part, the product line. So the products. So it's a capsule collection, first of all, releasing autumn winter 24. It's going to be released in 1st of July, which coincides with the whole marketing plan. So there's 5 items. There's tracksuit bottoms, the climbing pant, which is what we're going to call our star product, sports top, sweatshirt, fleece. So they're the main ones, which can be seen in the bottom right of the slide. In the middle, we have how it's going to relate to being basics and more the high fashion items, in terms of this is going back to the design influencers from our target market, because obviously we want to keep some items more basic, more can wear with everything, whereas other items we are going to push the boat and we're going to try and be ahead of that trend curve that we talked about earlier. And then so that's in the middle, and then on the left we have the mood board and the trend board, that has influenced kind of the ideas and will influence the design and the photography and everything like that. And as I mentioned earlier, user experience is going to be crucial, absolutely crucial within these designs. So with these first ones, we're going to throw a bit in there, but we want to just get to market and see what kind of things people like. But as we go on, user experience is going to be drilled home, and it's going to become another unique selling point, a major point of our competitive advantage, because we're going to include little things to just make the customer's life easier when they're doing the sports or when in daily life. It's not just all around climbing, but yes, these bits of user experience are going to play a really vital role, and I believe it is the future of this kind of market. This is what people want. They want something to help them. They don't want a piece of clothing with half pockets that can fit half their phone in. Pockets need to be deep enough. It's about all these little details, and that's what our products are going to be about. So for the operational side of it, we're going to try and implement strategic and collaborative leadership, which are going to work with the size of the business, and it can evolve as the business grows. But these are the main strategies that are going to the main leadership strategies that we're going to try to put in place. In the first 5 years, we're looking to take on 2 full-time members of staff over the 5 years. So it goes from part-time to full-time member of staff, to having 1 full-time to 1 part-time, and then having 2 full-time at the end of at the start of the 5th year. So the financials on the right-hand side, the image shows that year 1 and 2 both in profit. Year 3 we're going to expand, move into a new warehouse to help with shipping and everything, and that takes us into a bit of a loss. But then year 4 and 5 we get sustained, good levels of growth back in the business, so making profits in year 5. So I'd just like to thank you for your time. Thank you for listening to me. Please get in contact with any questions, with the details below, and yeah, have a good day.